A quick word about the solar eclipse in Aries that's happening on April 8th, because we got to talk about it. Number one, should you honor an eclipse or not? Bitch, it's up to you. I have seen like bad things happen on eclipses. I've seen really fucking miraculous things happen on eclipses. Some people are gonna argue like ancients never went outside during eclipses, and other people can show you evidence to the contrary. I think it really depends. I think a good general rule of thumb is to try to not control anything right now. That's a great rule of thumb. But depending on how this eclipse interacts with your natal chart, this could be a great time to make a move. I'll say a year ago at the eclipse, I launched my podcast. That was a strategic move. And the podcast has just done better and better and better and better. And I'm like shocked at how good it's going. So you can make use of eclipses. You really can. But I would say only if you're feeling incredibly confident about the way that it impacts your natal chart. If you don't know, then it's a better time to be in a receptive state and allow what comes and goes into your life. Number one, first and foremost. This is not eclipse specific, but it's pertinent because I've seen numerous videos of people trying to talk about the age of Aquarius in relation to this eclipse. First of all, it's an eclipse in Aries, not Aquarius. Secondly, we're not in the age of Aquarius. That is a 200-year transition process, okay? To go from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius takes 200 years. In our lifetime, we will not firmly be in the age of Aquarius, okay? We just gotta say it. I know everybody wants that to be an exciting, wonderful thing, but we're not going to firmly be in the age of Aquarius in our lifetime unless some technology comes out that allows us to like live really long. And if you're then going by like Vedic astrology standards, God, it's gonna be way longer before they think that we're gonna be in the age of Aquarius. So let's just like stop that new age speak. Number three, one of the best pieces of advice I've ever received was from the legend Stephen Forrest. And he has this, kind of motto of saying, okay, when something happens in astrology, it's not about like telling you what's gonna happen to you. It's more about figuring out how can I happen to this astrological event, okay? So the eclipse, while it can bring in unexpected events and you kind of have to allow the energy to get scrambled around a bit and not control too much. I think it's more about not trying to control some sort of like preconceived idea of where things must go, right? But you do have free will. You literally can make your own decisions and choices and moves in life, right? Like, so it's about understanding the energy at play, symbolically what's going on here. And how do you fit into it? How can you take your own initiative to happen to the eclipse? Number four, this eclipse for me is all about anamnesis, which is derived from the Greek word recollection. And it has to do a lot with looking back, sometimes very far back, as in past lives back, but sometimes it's just into your subconscious mind and understanding that there's wisdom that lies dormant there from your past. I do want to reference the past life angle to this because this eclipse is in a conjunction, like incredibly tight conjunction with Chiron, which is often referred to as like a past life wound. Chiron's a planetoid in between Saturn and Uranus. It's got a weird orbit, and it means a lot of things. I don't want to go too in depth with it, but it's a wound essentially that's so deep. It's from a past life and it gets brought into this life. So you get to learn to work with it, work on healing it, but it's kind of a chip on your shoulder and you're never really going to fully get over it. But through your ability to acknowledge it, face it, work with it, you get to turn into a bit of a healer yourself. And because of your wounding in life, you become a healer for other people who have walked a similar path or are going through a similar thing, and you get to kind of show them, here's how I've worked with this. And it's like a scar that you wear as a badge of honor. And so that can come up basically, like wounds from the past can resurface. But I think anamnesis really is all about like, okay, well, where am I at right now? Where am I going from here? But truly based on like, where have I been? There is this like remembrance energy going on right now. And so pay attention, especially to any past related themes that might pop up. People from the past, patterns from your past, opportunities from the past, if you had like, you know, even just like at work or something, if you've been like chewing on like a really creative work project idea, but you feel like that doorway hasn't really opened for you to execute on it, now's the time. Like if it's popping back up and that window seems to open all of a sudden, like there could actually be some use to this, because ultimately this is a new moon eclipse. New moons are new beginnings, intention setting times, right? And eclipses just make that feeling of newness, new pathway unfolding even bigger. And plus it's in Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, the trailblazer, the pioneer. It goes where people haven't gone before. So there is this energy of like, I'm entering into new territory right now, but you're not doing it completely blindfolded. You are doing it because of anamnesis. You're doing it because things that you've been through in the past, you are reflecting back on right now, and especially things that have gotten you down, the limitations that you faced, like core wounds that maybe you have, and how the learnings that you've acquired from going through those experiences are directly relevant to your life right now and the decisions that you're able to make. And finally, I want to talk about the theory of punctuated equilibrium in evolutionary biology, which basically states that evolution occurs in rapid little bursts, right? And then after those like rapid bursts of evolution, there comes a more elongated period of stability. I know so many people love to leave comments being like, I haven't had a normal day since 2020. Like, I get it. But there is a rapid burst energy to this eclipse and to April in general, but there will be a period of stability coming in. If you, again, are happening to the astrology and you're not just like letting life toss you around right now, like allow the energy to be jumbled. It's an eclipse after all. April 20th is a huge wild conjunction between Jupiter and Uranus, and that's a whole separate video that I'll make, but that will also bring some unexpected turning points for sure. After that though, like there's some stability coming in. There's a whole lot of new, fresh energy coming in, and I'm very excited about the potential for people to feel like they're grounding themselves more, they're more rooted in life, they have a little bit more clarity on the direction where things are headed, you know? Like nobody's ever 100% ready or 100% certain in anything. Like it's not plausible, right? You always gotta maintain some level of a open-minded viewpoint, right? But you, after this short burst, okay, you're going to enter a period of stability, right? Like allow the change to happen, allow yourself to be nimble and flexible and roll with this opening pathway that's coming in this month and the change. And it might feel uncomfortable for sure, especially because Uranus is going to be involved later this month. That can always be a very jarring, unsettling change feeling, but on the other side of it, there's liberation and steadiness. So trust in that. Allow change to happen. It's the only constant in life is change itself, right? And we are in that rapid burst point of evolution at the moment, followed by a period of stability, okay?